Today we discuss one of the more peculiar cases we've ever covered. We'll dive into the story of Gypsy Rose Blanchard and her Munchausen syndrome by proxy obsessed mother, Dee Dee. We'll explore the various ways Dee Dee physically, emotionally, and psychologically abused Gypsy, and how it all came to a head one night in 2015 after Gypsy finally decided it was going to be her Independence Day. I'm Mike.
I'm Ian.
And I'm Dave. Munchausen, matricide, and McMasturbation. Stick around. This episode has it all. I'm loving it. This is Necronomipod.
For the last few days, I've had this cut on the right side of my tongue
Herpes.
that has ruined my life.
That's fucking terrible.
Every time I move my mouth a certain way or chew a certain way, it feels like a tooth is slicing through my tongue. And typically I feel like it lasts like a day. Like you go to sleep and then you wake up and it's like kind of already healed.
The mouth wounds really heal quick most of the time.
Been a few days and this one just is killing me.
Awful.
So that's what I'm dealing with. How are you guys doing?
Better than you.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't have that going on.
It's not hard to be better than rock bottom. And a mouth sore is rock bottom.
Because it just never goes away. You just dwell on it all fucking day long.
You move your mouth so much throughout the
Yeah,
day that it's
yeah.
just you're constantly reminded.
I get those with acidic stuff a lot. Like if you drink too much orange juice or something like that.
You're like a canker
oh,
sore. Yeah.
Terrible.
This is not that, though. This is more of like a little scrape or a cut on my tongue. I don't know how the fuck it happened. But like even now, just talking, I could feel it just hurt because I'm paying attention to it.
I got some Oragel upstairs. You want some of that?
What does that mean? You just like come in my mouth or what does that mean?
It's like the numbing, the gum number.
I don't think I need to numb my
babies.
mouth when I'm about to do a talking. Be like fucking Kramer when he gets the Novocaine at the dentist.
That's right.
That's going to be me.
Yeah, don't you like rub that on babies' gums and stuff?
Yeah, but I have some because I use it when I get like one of those things on my tongue.
Does it work? I've never tried it.
Absolutely. I mean, it doesn't last very long. It's like lidocaine, so
Yeah.
wears off, but feels good for a little bit.
I'm going to have to look into that if this is still here tomorrow. Oh, all right.
You
What
sound
else?
like Ed Gein's mom for a little bit, but
I don't think I want that. At least not recorded.
no, it doesn't mess up your. It works. What else you guys been up to? Get ready for the holidays.
Sure.
Winding this year down.
We only have 3 more shows to record.
Not too many,
And
no.
we get a nice little break.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm ready for it.
Yeah, it'll be nice.
As much as I was always against us taking time off after last year, I was like, yeah, you know what? It's kind of nice just to reset.
You saw the light finally.
It's nice just to go away for a while. Come back fresh. Everyone's feeling good.
yeah.
Ian gets a break from all the outlines. Yeah, that'd be good.
Celebrate baby Jesus
Well, obviously.
as you should.
He's the reason for the
as
season.
Everyone should.
I'm a big fan of his birthday.
Me too.
I cut down a tree this year.
Very
Look at
impressive.
you doing an outdoor.
Wow.
How's that been?
Like the tree.
Like having it like a fresh
yeah,
tree
that's
in your
cool.
house, yeah. It smells nice.
Don't you have to spray it for bugs? Don't they have bugs sometimes they bring into your house? Or like bug spores that then hatch? I saw cautionary videos before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Hopefully that doesn't happen to me.
It's probably happening right now.
I've bought real trees before, but I've never like cut one down.
I've cut my own down before.
I've never done that. Did you spray yours? Or was it before?
A
the
long time ago. I don't know.
They shake it out.
Yeah, well, that probably fixes it.
Gets the squirrels out at least.
Yeah, it's the leaves and shit.
How big is it?
It's taller than me. So like 7 foot.
Damn.
Mine's 8 inches. My
It's
tree.
ridiculous.
You
It's
saw
not a
my
tree.
big Christmas tree
That
upstairs.
thing, it just fits on an end table.
It's ridiculous.
Took 10 seconds to set up. It was glorious.
Yeah, you took it out of a box, you put it on a table.
That's it. I didn't even do that. My wife did it. It was awesome. Like, that's a great tree. Turn that on.
This is the best Christmas ever. All right. Hey, if it makes you happy, go for it, man.
That's right.
We've had requests for this show for a while.
It's a very popular case.
And it's going to be very trendy in the news
Probably.
here pretty soon. Well, maybe we'll
Very much so.
get to that at the end, but maybe
Is it-
people will start looking for this topic and they'll find us. Little old us.
Hope so. I like to brighten more people's lives. That's what I'm all about.
Well, I'm sure they're going to stick around after your 8-inch Christmas tree. You really brighten up their holiday spirit.
I know for the past
My
couple
canker sores. We're off to a good start.
for the past couple of years, we've taken a picture in front of his Christmas tree and posted it online.
We're going to do it again.
Are we? With
Yes.
that? All right.
Can one of us just hold the tree?
You do like one of these where you hold your hands up and do a wide shot.
All right. Yeah, we should do that this year. That would be funny. Maybe on Saturday we'll do it.
All right. Is there a lot of debate in this story? Like, as to what happens at the end of the story? Do people argue about what the outcome should have been?
I feel like there's going to be debate in every story, though, right? And I know what you mean. Like, is there more?
Yeah.
But, like, people are going to always argue something.
I have strong thoughts on this story.
All right.
I'm interested because I also have strong thoughts on this story.
I do not have strong thoughts. So, I'm like, I know the story. I watched the documentary. I'm not sure I have a strong thought one way or another just yet. This is going to be one where we're going to have to talk it out, and then I'm going to see if I land strongly one way or the other.
That's fair. Talking it out,
Especially because there's so many different elements to look at.
there is.
Like you got the mom, Gypsy, and then you got this outsider. Mm-hmm. All right.
In 1990, Rod Blanchard was 17 years old, and he had just met 24-year-old Claudine Blanchard, who went by the nickname Dee Dee.
Mike, has there ever in history been a good-looking girl named Claudine? Yes or no?
Claudine, no. Claudia, yes.
Yes. Claudine? No.
Well, also Blanchard. Like,
No.
it's not a good name.
It's not bad. Rod Blanchard. That's a cool name.
Rod is always a cool name, but Blanchard, Rod's a sweet name.
This guy's got a sweet Cajun accent, too.
It's such a weird accent.
It is bizarre, but it's
Yeah.
fucking cool.
It's very, like, Cajun.
Yeah.
They all have it,
Yeah.
the whole family.
I remember years ago I was on a vacation and met some people from Louisiana, and they had, like, that real strong accent. And I was like, I can just listen to you fucking talk all day. Of course, there's teeth. The husband and wife both dip stained, like completely what you would think, like stereotypical Louisiana. But I could listen to them talk all day.
Yeah,
I was like, this is so fucking cool.
That is cool. Go make me some crawfish.
I didn't say that to them, but I would have eaten it had they made it.
Rod was still in high school when he started dating Dee Dee, and after about 5 months or so of dating, Dee Dee got pregnant. Rod and Dee Dee pretty much immediately went to Golden Meadow, Louisiana courthouse and got a marriage license and had a wedding. Rod turned 18 before Dee Dee gave birth, and on his 18th birthday, Rod said that he realized he wasn't in love with Dee Dee. He filed for divorce shortly after, and by the time their baby was born, the divorce was finalized.
You know what he was in love with on his 18th birthday? Pussy. Not Claudine. Don't get married when you're 17.
I think that's very fair.
Yeah, you can't make those decisions when you're in high school.
No.
Rod was my favorite guy throughout this whole story.
Unsung hero.
Yeah, I liked Rod.
Bet you did.
If only he had been given a chance to stay in her life, who knows how the story might have changed.
You are not wrong at all.
Which is pretty good coming from a guy who, impregnated this lady at the age of 17. He hung in there
He's a good dude.
more than you would expect a 17-year-old to, throughout the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would expect there to be some rockiness there.
Yeah, for him
or
to take
something.
off,
Yeah,
not
or not pay
pay.
his child support.
Exactly. Rod seemed like he genuinely cared and maybe just made the right decision. Like, hey, I'm not in love with you, but I'll make sure you're fine. and I'll love and take care of that girl.
That's fair.
I wouldn't be thinking that way at 17.
No, absolutely not.
Dave would have been overseas by the time she got that maternity test back.
In fact, that is not true at all.
Their baby, Gypsy Rose Blanchard, was born on July 27th, 1991. Gypsy because Dee Dee liked that name, and Rose because Rod was a big fan of Guns N' Roses. It's like 17-year-old naming for sure there.
Oh, yeah.
Rod made it clear that he wanted to be a part of Gypsy's life, and he would always pay child support, which he did. Rod paid Dee Dee $1,200 a month, and he'll end up giving a lot more as this story goes on.
That's a lot of money in 1991 for an 18-year-old kid.
I was thinking the same
minimum
thing.
wage was $4.25.
Rod just doing
$1,200?
I don't know what he's doing, but
Something, goddamn. That's a hell of a child support payment.
But if you're Dee Dee, you're not going to ask questions, right? What the fuck you doing to make that money? Nope, just take it.
Gypsy was born healthy. She didn't have any complications. Then when she was 3 months old.
Sure about that?
Then when she was 3 months old, Dee Dee took her to the hospital, fearing that Gypsy had sleep apnea. Tests were ran and doctors determined that Gypsy was fine. Dee Dee took her to the hospital a second time, and the same thing. On her third visit, an at-home breathing treatment was prescribed to Gypsy. It's not clear if Dee Dee actually believed Gypsy had sleep apnea or not, but this is the start of Gypsy being the victim of Munchausen syndrome by proxy, or fictitious disorder imposed by another, which that's what the DSM-5 calls it. The definition of Munchausen syndrome by proxy is a mental health disorder in which a caregiver creates the appearance of health problems in another person, typically their child. This may include injuring the child or altering test samples. The caregiver then presents the person as being sick or injured. Permanent injury or death of the victim may occur as a result of their caregiver having the disorder. The behavior occurs without a specific benefit to the caregiver, but a lot of times you see that it's an attention-getting thing. They're getting, like, in this case, part
sympathy,
of the attention. It's a sympathy,
publicity,
and it's like, oh, look at this single mother.
Yeah.
You know how.
Yeah.
Look at how strong she is,
Right.
being a hero, taking care of that child.
So the by proxy part is when you do it to someone else. Just regular Munchausen syndrome is when you do it to yourself.
Right. Like fake that you have cancer or something to get sympathy from others.
Like that Scamanda story that's big podcast these days.
What's that?
The lady that convinced everyone she had cancer and fundraisers and all kinds of stuff. It's wild.
And it got to this point where she like had her head was shaved and like craziness. That's wild. It's a very rare disorder occurring in an estimated 15 out of 1 million children. 95% of the known cases in the United States involve the victim's mother imposing this on her kids. And statistically, I found this really interesting because that's how this case starts. The abuse starts with claimed sleep apnea.
Because little babies just lay there, and what's the thing you could come up with? Oh, they stop breathing, right? Seems like the simplest thing you could say without any proof needed.
And I almost wonder if it can start with worrying about a baby. Like, you know, in the
SIDS.
and
Yeah.
you like check on them breathing all the time and stuff.
Sure.
And then if you get scared that they stop, then you get worried about sleep apnea, and then does it snowball from there maybe?
I think it might be a trigger. I think all first-time parents are kind
Yeah.
of hover a little bit. Oh, is that thing breathing in there?
Right.
Sure,
For sure.
Sure, course.
Treatment for the abuser is a relatively unknown area of psychology. There isn't a pill that can fix Munchausen syndrome by proxy. In the vast majority of these cases, the abuser refuses to admit that they were in the wrong or that they have a problem. So therapy isn't really a good option for them.
So the name Munchausen comes from that German fictional character Baron von Munchausen,
Okay.
who just told tall tales. So interesting they named this after him.
I said it was like the 60s, I think. Like it's a newer diagnosis.
That sounds right.
Yeah. Some British guy like claimed it or whatever in the 60s.
It's interesting that that's what they named it.
Maybe he was like reading that book or something.
Yeah, right.
Rod said that after the breathing treatment, Dee Dee would call him constantly with new medical issues that Gypsy had, and he would send her more money to pay for medication and doctor bills. These imagined illnesses started with the sleep apnea and progressed to eventually cancer, muscular dystrophy, seizures, asthma, hearing and vision problems, chronic ear infections, and even little things like flus. It just went on and on.
Is it possible this started as just a simple grift? And he started sending more money for each thing, and she just started piling on to get more money.
I think there's definitely a financial motive to this too.
It certainly seems that way throughout the story. She's cashing in on anything she can.
I think most certainly part of this.
Rod eventually got remarried, while Dee Dee and Gypsy moved in with her dad and stepmother. At this time, Dee Dee pulled Gypsy out of second grade, saying that Gypsy was too sick to attend school, and that she would homeschool Gypsy. Gypsy's education was one of the many issues Dee Dee's father had with her. Dee Dee had opened credit cards in the family members' names, gotten arrested for writing multiple bad checks, and seemed to have been poisoning her stepmother.
Oh, is that all? Come on.
According to Dee Dee's father, they suspected that Dee Dee was putting Roundup weed killer in her stepmother's food. When her father confronted Dee Dee about it, she took Gypsy and moved 2 hours north to Slidell, Louisiana. Incidentally, her stepmother started feeling better when Dee Dee moved out.
Oh, what a quinky dink. It's weird.
It's interesting, the two sides of the family. Like if you're talking to her father and like that side, they're like throw her away. He even said like dump her ashes in the toilet and flush them. Like fucking brutal.
I saw that, yeah.
The other side of the family, talking about Dee Dee's mom, was that Dee Dee was spoiled and like everybody loved her. And like her mother maybe did some of this to her, this Munchausen by proxy, that Dee Dee was always sick and like this kind of bubble child and got her way for everything in life. She was bought everything she wanted.
Is there proof of that? Do we know that happened? Or that's just what
her sibling saying that?
So when you're a kid, you get everything you wanted. So then when you grow up and you don't necessarily have the ability to have everything you want, you think you're owed that. And you go down this path as this is how you can achieve getting those things.
In the bubble thing too, like the overprotectiveness. It really seemed like if you believe what her siblings say about how she was, coddled, it's teetering on the Munchausen by proxy thing.
So learn the behavior then.
And that is one of the ways that it's either, from what I was reading, it's mothers that have experienced abuse mixed with complications during the pregnancy, or it's a learned behavior. Like it was done to you.
Yeah. Well, certainly lots of abuse happens like that.
Yeah. Dee Dee and her mom were very close, and she took care of her mom. This is one of the claims that her father makes against her, is that when her mom died in 1997, there's suspicion that Dee Dee was actually like starving her mom. There's claims of that.
Oh.
It was like keeping her mom sick, and now hindsight being 2020, they're like, well, maybe she did kill her own mom.
I'm starting to not like Dee Dee very much. We'll see where the story goes.
Call her Claudine, you'll hate her more.
Certainly does not help her cause. Although, do we get pissed at her or her parents for that one?
Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
the same as the people who name their kids fucking Keith. Like, whatever. What are you going to do with them? You can't technically lock them up, but you could fucking beat them with a rock.
Did you know Declan has a son named Keith?
Declan doesn't even know what sex is. Come on. He doesn't know what to do with that penis.
You got me. I'm lying.
Walked into the back room the other day to get a beer, and I just saw him pressing his cock against the wall, like just over and over, like thrusting into the wall. I was like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Maybe for Christmas, let's all just go and get him a pocket pussy or something. Let him have a little fun for the holidays.
Nice. Flashlight. Big flashlight.
Yeah, but we only give it to him like Saturday afternoons. He's allowed to have it. We take it back.
He can't have it all the time.
Well, he's got work to do. If you give that, nothing's going to get done.
Are you going to clean it for him?
Oh, fuck no. I'm not touching that. I don't know. We'll hire someone. Cleaning service.
Cool Down Media is hiring for a fleshlight cleaner.
Yeah. Ignore the rest of the house when you walk through. Just go to the basement, look for the cage, clean that fleshlight.
The FBI is going to bring us in for questioning one of these days.
When Gypsy was 7 or 8 years old, she was on the back of her grandfather's motorcycle. It sounded like he wasn't driving super fast or anything, but she was on the back of it. She fell off and skinned her knee. Dee Dee took her to the hospital, and Gypsy says that this is when the wheelchair came into the picture. That Dee Dee had gotten the wheelchair from the hospital based on this knee injury, this like minor injury.
Yeah.
And the wheelchair becomes a constant at that point.
She's like, I like the optics of this. You're going to sit in that chair a little bit more.
So before the muscular dystrophy thing even comes into the picture, she was already in the wheelchair.
Damn.
This is the part I'm having trouble wrapping my head around. Like, she knew she could walk. Like, logistically, how did this work? Just forcing her to be in a wheelchair when...
That was one of my questions. Like, when nobody was around, was she walking around the house or was she in that wheelchair all the time? But then is mom, transferring her out of the wheelchair into bed and into the bath
right.
and into like a dinner chair? Or is she on the couch? Or is she just like, no, you're fucking home. Get up and do it.
No, that's happening.
She is doing that.
Yes.
Because I think that does make a difference in the outlook of the story. Like,
when Gypsy gets older, when we get to the end of the story, no, that's not happening anymore. But for the majority of her life, that is what she was treated like. She really had muscular dystrophy.
She was led to believe that she could not walk or move.
Right.
No, okay.
She 100% believed what her mom was telling her.
Yeah.
We're getting a little ahead of ourselves
We
here,
are.
but we'll get to it.
Once Dee Dee and Gypsy were in Slidell, Gypsy started to be seen by doctors from Tulane Medical Center and the Children's Hospital of New Orleans. In 2001, so Gypsy would have been 10 years old, doctors at Tulane Medical tested Gypsy for muscular dystrophy. Even though those tests came back negative, Dee Dee was able to convince doctors all across Louisiana and eventually Missouri that Gypsy did indeed have muscular dystrophy. That started out with seizure medication. Dee Dee told doctors that Gypsy would have seizures a couple times a week. So she was prescribed the medication, to help out with seizures. The side effects of that medication caused drooling, which can be a symptom of muscular dystrophy. That medication can also cause rapid tooth decay. So that's why Gypsy's missing a lot of teeth, which we'll get into that in a minute.
This is a chicken and the egg kind of story here.
Yeah. This is not like anything we've ever discussed.
I guess seizure is another good thing, like sleep apnea, to come in with, because it's not going to happen all the time. It's not something you can necessarily prove.
And it's not something that's just going to happen on cue in front of a doctor.
Exactly.
The doctor's going to take the mother's word for it.
Because why wouldn't they? Of course.
I mean, I guess if they really wanted, they could push and test for seizuric activity in the brain. Like, they can monitor some of that stuff if she's saying it's happening often enough or all the time. But I guess, I mean, I don't know. Would you test? Do you have to test for that to give the medication? Do you take the mom at her word when she's bringing this sick kid to you? I don't really know how that
I
that
think
works.
a lot of that probably depends on where you're at too, right? What hospital? Are you at the Cleveland Clinic or are you at a public charity hospital in New Orleans?
Sure, yeah. Yeah.
Dee Dee was also like a serial hospital visitor and doctor. She would get multiple doctors, hundreds she'd seen over the years. Because if someone started questioning her, then
Sure.
you're done. We're going to go to a new doctor.
And even if there's not much to those records, there's records of all those different visits that keep stacking up, and it's kind of phantom evidence, right? Not necessarily anything to those visits, but yeah, I've been here 5 times for these seizures, and
Right.
a cursory glance at those records, like, yeah, you have. Let's get you some medication for that.
After a while, doctors started recommending surgical procedures to treat Gypsy when the various medications she was taking didn't work. Surgeries to correct supposed weak eye muscles, tubes were inserted into her ears to fight off chronic ear infections that didn't exist, which that one I don't understand. I feel like a doctor can just look in your ear and see if there's an infection or not.
Yeah.
That one is really odd. Gypsy had a feeding tube that would need changed out every so often.
This is the one I don't understand, the fucking feeding tube.
Like, how did this get to that point? Yeah, it's crazy. Well, we'll talk about it in a little bit, but she hardly ate anything by mouth. It was a lot of Pediasure and things like that, all the way up until she is in reality in her 20s. Doctors gave Gypsy Botox injections in her salivary glands to stop the drooling. When that didn't work, they were just removed. All of it's for nothing. This was all because of Dee Dee.
Mike, you get Botox in your penis before your Cucks Across America visits, right? Just kind of pump up a little bit. Is it hurt?
Well,
Like, how does that work?
I started doing that because a certain other brand wouldn't sponsor us. I would just be doing that, but we have too many female listeners. It's not their demographic, apparently.
Is Botox dangerous when injected right into your penis?
Oh,
Works, right?
find out if I die in 3 weeks. But that's tomorrow's problem, not today's.
I should call it Bocox and like a whole new
Botox.
brand.
I think you should start that.
See?
Yeah. Set that up with your gynecology practice. Now you're working on Bocox.
That sounds like somebody that would be on one of our news episodes.
Shooting Botox in their
Yeah,
dick.
like Florida Man did that, something like that.
What did they shoot? The foam into their dick?
Oh, yeah, that
Oh,
expanding
yeah.
foam.
Oh, man. Nope. I'll
Yeah,
do
they had
Botox.
to do some surgery down there to pull all that out.
I read one time that Mick Jagger put a bunch of bees on his penis to sting it, to make it swollen and bigger.
Really? I feel like there's better ways to go
don't-
about
yeah,
doing
great.
it.
like, I don't understand. Okay.
Bzz.
Like if you have 100, 200 bee stings on your wiener, are you really thinking about putting it in someone? Like I'd be like, ow, I want ice. I want to go to
I'm
bed.
thinking about crying some
Yeah,
more.
like
That's
I don't
what I'm doing.
want to fucking dick anyone down with this. I want to just go to bed and cry.
Mick's girlfriend's like,
You sure about that? Yeah, that's fucking gross and painful and unpleasant.
all of the above.
Yeah.
We talked about how like you get this feeling or this thought with this story, like how is this even possible? Because there's nothing wrong with her, but Dee Dee crafted Gypsy's appearance from when she was a little kid. We didn't bring it up before, but Dee Dee had everyone believing that Gypsy was intellectually disabled. Dee Dee always said that Gypsy could only comprehend things at a second grade level, which that's true for most of her life, and that's because Dee Dee pulled her out of school at that time and never taught her anything else. So
that's what happens.
right. You would never question whether or not Gypsy was suffering from these illnesses or not if you saw her in person. She was missing the majority of her teeth. She wore large bifocal glasses, and she was bald. Gypsy varied between completely bald or a buzz cut. Gypsy said that Dee Dee had told her that the leukemia medication was going to make her bald eventually, so just go ahead and get rid of it and just keep it like neat and clean. As a result of that, Gypsy wore hats and a lot of wigs. Gypsy's voice was also very childlike. When you hear her talk during this time frame, it does make you think that she talks too young for her age. But that was also designed by Dee Dee. On top of stopping Gypsy's education in the second grade, Dee Dee always told Gypsy that she was born in 1995. So Gypsy always thought that she was 4 years younger than she really was.
It's just
That's still just a
piling on to
psychological
all this
abuse, emotional abuse. We'll get to the more, but like, just don't. Can you do that to your child? You're robbing them of their childhood.
This is one of the worst things
You're
I've ever
robbing
read.
them of
It's
their
just
life.
Awful, all of it.
And you watch even like the documentary that was made, the one we watched, the one that's on Max, was just a few years ago, right?
2017, I think.
And so she's, she still seems like you're talking to like a third, fourth, fifth grader.
Mentally,
Like
sure.
she never fully developed. And it's because of her mom, not because there is any diagnoses that would stop her or prevent her from developing as a person.
There's pictures of her that are shown in that documentary, which we'll talk about later. And I'm like, I feel uncomfortable looking at these pictures, but she was an of age adult.
Yes.
The only reason I feel bad or feel, uncomfortable is because Dee Dee has created this perception that she's intellectually disabled. And it's like, I shouldn't be.
And you feel like you also feel like you're looking at a kid because she's stunted in her growth emotionally and intellectually. So yeah, you feel like you're looking at inappropriate photos. I remember thinking the same thing, but no, she was an adult sending those to her boyfriend.
Yeah.
While living in Seidel, Dee Dee and Gypsy lived in public housing and survived off the child support paid by Rod and public assistance received due to Gypsy's conditions. Rod was always concerned about Gypsy's well-being. Dee Dee just wouldn't let them build a real relationship. When Rod questioned Dee Dee about Gypsy's illnesses, Dee Dee said that Gypsy had a chromosomal defect. As Rod questioned more, Dee Dee moved further and further away until visits with Gypsy were almost impossible. Then Hurricane Katrina hit in 2005.
Man, it's been almost 20 years since then.
It's crazy.
It is. Time's going fast. Make it stop. Jesus, make it stop. I'm going to be dead soon. Jeez.
That's one of Kanye's claims to fame, remember? When the Hurricane Katrina thing?
George Bush hates white people.
Or hates black people.
Or hates black people.
Yeah.
I
Mike
remember.
Epps' face, it was just like, what? He didn't know what to do.
I'll be honest, that was when I learned who Kanye West
Yeah, I
was.
remember.
I
Really?
didn't know who he was until that. And then it was like, went viral and was like, oh, can you believe what he said?
Well, and there was the Photoshop picture of Bush out on that boat that they Photoshopped into the floodwaters in New Orleans. Do you remember that?
No.
Yeah. Like, that's not real.
Now watch this drive.
That was real.
That was real. Yeah. That happened.
It's one of my favorite clips of all time.
I can't believe that he thought that would be like a funny, like cute joke to end that with. He had some type of a memoir not too long ago, right? George Bush, or he did an interview with something a couple years ago.
I'm not sure.
But
He's
I remember
been pretty low key. He might have had a memoir, but
Maybe it
I
was
know
like
he
10
kind
years
of has
ago.
been out of the spotlight quite a bit.
it might have been like 10 years ago or something. But he said that Kanye West really hurt his feelings when Kanye said that.
Of course he did. Oh, poor baby. Well, the worst part was he had that fucking, what was his name? Mike Brown running FEMA, just some political appointee who was just the most incompetent person on earth.
Yeah.
I really don't know much about
It was a big
that
cluster
whole
fuck.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
just
they got hit
incompetent
hard.
clowns running, FEMA. And that's not great at that time.
No, not when you need federal aid.
The apartment that Dee Dee and Gypsy lived in was destroyed, and they ended up staying at a special needs shelter. This worked in Dee Dee's favor because she was able to say that all the medical records she had for Gypsy were lost in the flood, and no one questioned what she was saying. I mean, it's a fucking national emergency.
No one's going to question it.
Right. And Gypsy already looks the way she looks, and she's in the wheelchair.
Yep.
You feel like a piece of shit for if you even think about questioning any of this.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah. Like it's easy to understand how people had the wool pulled over their eyes in all of this. Like you have to be a real asshole to be like, oh, I'm questioning you, so I'm going to take further tests. when you have this sickly looking kid right in front of you.
Your brain wants to believe the reality you see in front of your eyes. Unless you have reason to doubt that, that's what's going to happen most of the time.
Yeah.
And how high pitch her voice is and stuff. Like she is this little fragile child.
Absolutely. Yeah. She still looks like a fragile child.
Yeah.
Like if somebody questioned her, people around would be like, "Oh, you fucking
What's wrong
asshole."
with you?
Yeah. Piece of shit.
Exactly.
They got kind of close with a doctor at that shelter, and that doctor recommended that they move to Missouri. Dee Dee and Gypsy's story was a great feel-good story for the press. The thing with the single mom taking care of her daughter that's suffering from all these illnesses. Then they lose everything in a hurricane. In 2007, Gypsy was awarded the Olay Foundation's Child of the Year, which that's a foundation that advocates for feeding tube rights.
Are there people fighting against feeding tube rights?
I don't know. Maybe there's like some legality about like removing feeding tubes, maybe like for family members. I don't know.
It is not something I have heard of.
Yeah.
Will restaurants tell people to leave if they have a feeding tube? Like,
Why does someone with a feeding tube need to be in a restaurant?
Well, like if they're sitting with their family, but also like what kind of restaurant would you have to be like, oh, you're not going to buy off our menu? You're not having our unlimited soup, salad, and breadsticks? I'm not naming any places. Just saying you can't be in here. Like, I don't know. I'm interested to hear what kind of rights that are they, not saying that they aren't, but like what are they experiencing?
Who's challenging their
yeah,
rights?
Who's challenging any of that? Like what kind of piece of shit do you have to be?
It's weird.
To challenge
Ma'am,
that.
you know that breadstick won't fit in that feeding tube. What are you even doing in here?
Yeah, like I don't understand.
Like our legislators in Ohio trying to turn off medical care for people with feeding tubes. I wouldn't doubt it, but maybe that's what they're up to these days.
Yeah, maybe it was like a hiring thing.
I don't know.
Or like
I can see that
like
being an issue, maybe.
You know, like supporting like, hey, they need longer lunch times or longer breaks because they eat at different hours.
Yeah, I'm really curious now.
Maybe
I need to follow up on this. We need to follow up overtime special report on this.
What's sad is that anybody who has any kind of difference is going to have somebody out there that's like, oh, fuck that. Nope, I'm not accommodating that.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, everybody else has to work. Why can't you just do it?
We get an extra 5-minute break to go clean out your feeding tube. Fuck that.
Yeah, see those bootstraps? Pull them tight. Get the fuck on with your day.
I must know more about this. Who is the piece of shit that's challenging someone with a feeding tube?
Next
I'm going to
overtime
find out.
show.
Yeah, we're going to find out. Special report.
You can get Carl Monday on it if you want.
Oh, out of retirement. Hey, Carl, people are fucking with people with feeding tubes.
Hey, do we want to end some careers? Because Carl Monday will fucking end some careers. He might end some lives, too. I don't know if he goes that hard anymore.
If there's one issue to draw him out of retirement, this might be the one.
Hey, you have a history with him, Dave. Can you reach out?
I do. Hey, Carl, guess what I heard? People with feeding tubes are being discriminated against.
Just be like, give me $100. It's your story. But also, we're going to need an exclusive report on Necronomicon.
You work for us now, Carl. You're Necronoma Carl.
I don't hate that one bit.
Carl Namapod.
We should hire
All
him.
of it.
We should hire him to do something.
Oh, I think we could make that happen.
He needs to get on, what is that cameo thing.
Yeah.
He just does everything in a trench coat without holding a microphone.
I would pay for a Carl Monday cameo.
In 2008, Habitat for Humanity built them a home with a wheelchair ramp and all the necessary things like hand railings that Gypsy would need. Their story gained tons of charitable donations, things like stays at the Ronald McDonald House while Gypsy went through treatments, free trips to Disney, and multiple backstage passes to see Miranda Lambert.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Miranda Lambert's like was a big supporter. I don't know. But that was through the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Yeah. I bet you get addicted to shit like that. Only makes your Munchausen worse, right?
There's definitely something with the financial gain and everything with this.
I think that's a major part of all of this. For
I think
sure.
so too.
Because what
least in this
benefit
situation.
is all the attention and the accolades if it's not going to come with financial compensation too? Like, you know, the accolades can only take you so far. And you got to pay those bills.
You got a free house. Was Jimmy Carter down there building that house?
Probably was.
Scamming Jimmy Carter?
Fucking was. See, now
bitch.
No, now you got me pissed. He's
You don't
out there.
scam Jimmy Carter.
He's 386 years old. He's fucking there building you houses.
That's a bridge too far.
No, yeah,
Dee Dee.
What's
her name? Claudine.
crossed the
Nobody
line.
scams Jimmy Carter.
Is Jimmy Carter the official president of Necronomicon?
He's my president.
Well, I think Bill Clinton would have something to say about that.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm all right. He's good president.
We also discussed Ronald Reagan a lot and his wife's glorious blowjobs, as Dave will have you know.
Good Hummer, Nancy Reagan.
Quite a few
Best,
presidents, and I think
from what I've heard.
quite a few presidents in the running for the official Cool Down Media president.
Yeah, we kind of have our own Mount Rushmore of presidents.
Of the ones we talk about, we talk about Carter a lot, Clinton, Reagan.
We can throw George Bush on there for the clips, maybe.
We watch a lot of those clips off air. We watch a lot of clips. Those little one-liners. Those are great.
There's super cuts of them.
There is. The fact that there can be is just its own funny thing in itself. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe so. We'll have to have an election one day and see who wins. And then each of us will vote for like one of the same three, and then it's just a tie.
Jimmy's got my vote just based off of the UFOs.
He's the UFO guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big Jimmy Carter fan as well.
Bill Clinton like blowjobs.
Who doesn't though?
That's what I'm saying. Like
If he was smart, we wouldn't even know this.
but aren't we
Sloppy
better off?
motherfucker.
Aren't we better off for just knowing it?
I guess, but
Probably not. He would have had a much better legacy had that not come out.
yeah.
Anyways, okay.
We brought it up earlier too, like where you think, how is this going on for this long? How hasn't somebody noticed something with the doctors? The tubes put into her ears for ear infections.
A feeding tube.
Unless Dee Dee's like putting something in her ears to infect them, a doctor could clearly just look in her ears and be like, oh,
Yeah.
not
no,
infected.
that's not what's going on. And just on top of that, all the drugs this little girl's on.
yeah.
Valium and this and
Well,
that.
and then the drugs start creating symptoms that can be attributed to other diagnoses, right? Like
Absolutely.
the drooling thing that they got
Right.
from the seizure medication that they're like, oh, that's a side effect of MS. She must be right.
just a laundry list of
Not MS, muscular dystrophy. Excuse me.
drugs she was being pumped up with.
You would think that a doctor would have, somebody, more than one, would have realized maybe or questioned
Something. This kid's in distress. Like, what
This
the
is abuse. This
fuck
is physical
going on here?
abuse. I'm not blaming the doctors necessarily, but I mean, they certainly weren't doing their due diligence, but Dee Dee is abusing the fuck out of Gypsy.
At least one doctor noticed that something was wrong and failed to do anything about it. That was Bernardo Flasterstein.
That's a cool name, Bernardo Flasterstein. Hello,
That's a name. That is a name.
Flasterstein. Bernardo, MD.
He is a pediatric neurologist who saw Gypsy when she was living in Springfield, Missouri. He was thrown off by the muscles in Gypsy's legs, like every doctor probably should have been. That's what I don't understand.
Yeah.
If, you know, he said if someone was in a wheelchair as long as Gypsy was, you'd see loss of leg muscle.
Like,
Doctor,
we know that. Everyone knows that.
right?
Yeah.
Your muscles atrophy if you don't use them.
Yeah.
A girl in a wheelchair like that doesn't have leg muscles.
No, and when I was in my wreck, I was in a wheelchair for 6 months, and I was like had to like use a walker to walk
you-
again.
yeah.
Like all my muscles were gone. That was just after 6 months.
Yeah.
This is absurd that no one is pointing this out.
Because she had to have been evaluated, right? Like they're looking at her body, right? Like checking her out. Like it's not just something where like they're covering up her legs because she's in a wheelchair. Like you're at the doctor, they're gonna check you out.
You would think.
It is
At a minimum.
at a minimum, you're gonna notice her legs and be like, well, those look healthy enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really weird. But at the same time, like, did she just know how to play the system? I think so, because you're not going to say every doctor was in on this conspiracy. Maybe she just knew the right way to get the pity factor and play it off, and
I think she 100% did.
And forge whatever, documents and in the way that, we'll get to that.
A big part of it, too, is the psychological abuse of Gypsy. Dee Dee would hold her hand at all times in public when they're talking, and if she started saying something wrong, she would squeeze her hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you're a doctor talking to this kid or this person that you think is, intellectually disabled and dealing with all these illnesses, like we said earlier, like you're going to keep challenging her and be like, "Oh, this is fake."
And even if Gypsy did, start screaming in the dock or whatever, no one's probably going to take her seriously. They think
exactly.
She's intellectually challenged.
Right.
Mm. Yeah, you could easily just blame it on that.
Exactly.
So Dr. Flasterstein ordered various tests like MRIs, and he concluded that there wasn't any reason why Gypsy couldn't walk. Dee Dee blew up on him and took Gypsy out of his office. Dr. Flasterstein got a hold of Gypsy's doctors back at Tulane Medical. Those were the ones that originally said Gypsy didn't have muscular dystrophy, and confirmed his suspicions with them. He wrote in his report that he felt that this was a situation of Munchausen syndrome by proxy, but he didn't push any further than that. Dr. Flasterstein said that Child Protective Services wouldn't have believed him, so what was the point of reporting this?
I understand the hesitancy. He's probably right, but I don't think that relieves him of his duty to make the effort.
Yeah, that's a really stupid excuse.
Yeah.
That's like if I saw somebody getting hurt or something, I'm like, the cops probably wouldn't believe me, so I'm just going to turn the other,
I think it's even
ignore
more
it.
than that. Like, he's a doctor, and it's his medical opinion that, like, this is not right. You got to say something.
When he diagnosed it himself, he said it's a Munchausen case.
I get his hesitancy, though, because this was, like you said, all over the news, Habitat for Humanity. These organizations were giving her the Person of the Year, and then he's going to come in and go, yeah, this is not real. I get the backlash that he probably would have faced. And he's probably right.
And maybe
he still should have done it.
Maybe it's different, but one, I feel as if he's probably a mandated reporter when it comes to abuse, meaning you legally have to. Mm-hmm. Two, you can do that anonymously. He probably should have. I mean, he would give himself away with what he was going to say, but I don't know. That's abuse. You have to report that.
I agree. Yeah, that's rough.
I understand what you're saying. That
I don't think he's wrong. I think everyone would have pushed back, but
like we said
you
before,
still have to try.
Now you're the biggest fucking asshole in the world.
Yeah,
because this poor mom who's busting her butt.
Exactly. You still have to try, though.
Oh, did he not have fuck you money? He's a neurologist. Didn't have fuck you money?
Apparently not.
Come on.
Gypsy got another potential chance at help in 2009, and Dr. Flasterstein denies that this was him. But an anonymous caller told the police how Dee Dee used all kinds of aliases, which is true. She had a ton. Different dates of birth for her and Gypsy, and said that Gypsy was not as sick as everyone thought. Police went out to the house, and Dee Dee manipulated her way through this conversation with no issues. She told the police that the reason they used different birth dates and things like that was for misdirection. Dee Dee told them that she and Gypsy were hiding from Dee Dee's abusive ex-husband. The police looked around, saw the medications, Gypsy in the wheelchair, talked to Gypsy, and they wrote in their report that everything looked fine. The child seemed to be, have an intellectual disability, and that was it. It was done. They probably could have called Rod, looked into it. But
If he didn't have custody, though.
Right.
Did he have any court-mandated visitation rights? It didn't sound like it.
Certainly didn't seem like he had anything. And it didn't seem like he was fighting for it, though. He just wanted to be involved and pay his fair share, and then that's it.
Yeah.
And I know he had said that he didn't want to question Dee Dee too much because he didn't want to lose what little contact he did have.
Yeah, she held that over him.
Right.
Moved farther and farther away, and
right. Anytime he questioned something, he was cut off to some degree.
what a horrible spot to be in.
So, yeah, I don't fault the police I don't think that this is something where they dropped the ball. It's just Dee Dee made this whole
world.
Yeah. That's almost impenetrable, really.
Wonder if they ever had like a caseworker assigned to them as well to investigate kind of further. You know, you can get a little closer to the family than the police can. Wonder if any of that ever happened.
Not that I heard.
No, I didn't. I'm just speculating, just asking out loud.
As far as making up lies about Rod, Dee Dee did that with everyone. She told Gypsy things like, your father will kill us. He abused you. Dee Dee had one friend that she actually sat down with to have coffee regularly with. Her name was Amy Pinegar. She told Amy how Rod was an abusive alcoholic and drug addict who made fun of Gypsy's disabilities and never paid them any child support. Dee Dee specifically told Amy that she had decided to finally leave Rod when he burnt Gypsy with a cigarette as a punishment.
This rotten bitch.
I'm starting to think where Dave's views are going. I think I'm getting a little hint.
Yeah, I think we're going to be on the same side.
Look at that.
Through this friendship with Amy Pinegar, Gypsy got her first in-person friend, at least that I'm aware of. Aaliyah Woodmansey is Amy's daughter, and she befriended Gypsy as like a big sister type relationship. In 2011, Aaliyah was 20 years old and under the impression that Gypsy was like 14 or 15 years old, when in reality, Gypsy was closer to Aaliyah's age. But again, with the intellectual disability, that's always like the over thing. So that adds to the big sister type relationship.
Sure it does.
Dee Dee made sure to never leave Gypsy and Aaliyah alone for too long. A lot of the big sister bond was done through Facebook. Gypsy wanting more independence because, like we said, in reality, she's in her, closer to her 20s now. She made a fake Facebook profile under the name Emma Rose, and she would use that to chat with Aaliyah. Being able to sneak onto Facebook led Gypsy sneaking onto other aspects of the internet. From an early age, Dee Dee took Gypsy to sci-fi conventions like Comic-Con, things like that. On some chat forum, Gypsy started talking to a guy in his mid-30s and made plans to meet at one of these conventions. According to Gypsy, she confided in this man about what was going on in her life. So he took her back to his hotel room. Through people at the convention, Dee Dee tracked them down. She showed this man a fake birth certificate showing Gypsy was 15, and she was going to call the police on him for abducting a minor if Gypsy didn't leave with her. Dee Dee drove Gypsy home, and according to Gypsy, Dee Dee smashed her computer keyboard with a hammer and tied her to her bed frame. Gypsy said that she was beaten with a coat hanger during this time, just really making her afraid of ever trying to escape again.
How old was she this time then? Like 19 or 20?
In reality?
It's like 4 years older, so
Yeah.
19. So a legal adult that had every right just to walk away and do whatever she wanted.
But even on paper, she's not an illegal. She's legal in her mind, her body is legal. But
depending what papers her mom had, she wasn't legal.
Right. And at this point, Dee Dee has falsified documents where you don't even know if there's an E on her last name or not, depending on, like, sometimes it says Blanchard with an E on the end. Sometimes it doesn't have the, in reality, it doesn't have the E, but Dee Dee forging documents, you see that last name pop up like that. You also see her age pop up as 1995.
And I'm not trying to fault the dad because I know he's in a difficult spot, but he knows how old she is. He knows she's an adult at this time. He knows this woman can't legally keep her from him. Don't you make some sort of legal attempt or...
But he didn't. Did he even know this was all going on? If you don't think there's any abuse and you just know, all right, I have a strained long-distance relationship with my daughter...
Or just without the fear of her taking her away from you anymore, don't you make some sort of a greater effort? I don't know what that effort looks like.
But if he didn't know anything was wrong, why would he make that effort?
I think he's known something was wrong the whole time.
Maybe. I think...
It's just to contact her. She's clearly reaching out to people to be rescued, right? Why isn't he making more of an effort to contact her.
That's part of it. I think he just, it almost seemed like he just accepted, like they were just strained. He'll continue to pay. He maybe wants to see her, but has accepted that, oh, she's moved on with her life with her mom. I don't know.
I just feel those threats are gone now. He knows how old she is.
The threats of what?
Of keeping her from him. Like, she has no legal basis to do that any longer. She's an adult.
But that's what I mean. I don't know if he's even reaching out anymore. Maybe he had just accepted my life has moved on
Why
beyond
isn't
her.
he reaching out?
He talked about how he called her on her 18th birthday to talk to Gypsy.
Yeah.
And Dee Dee intercepted the call beforehand and was like, hey, I don't want her to get upset. She's still thinking that she's 4 years behind this with the intellectual disability.
Yeah.
He was like, so don't bring up the age. Don't say 18. Just tell her happy birthday.
Yeah.
So she was lying to him then. So, okay, I get that.
Yeah. He said it was a
also,
lot
like,
of that kind of stuff.
If you're calling to say I called her for her 18th, like if you have to clarify what birthday it was you were calling for her on, you clearly aren't just you're not having much contact with her in general. I don't think his life was in a place where he was
limited. You're right.
Where he was like striving to see her all the time and making an effort to. I think he had just accepted his life, his new life, and he had a kid out there, and she's fine. She's with her mom, and I'll just go about my life. And maybe then Gypsy realized, okay, he's not someone that I'm going to reach out to because he's not close to me.
Yeah.
Well,
But I don't know.
According to Gypsy, Dee Dee told her all the time how terrible he was and how he would kill them and shit like that, like crazy stuff. The relationship between Dee Dee and Gypsy was pretty rough for the rest of 2011 after that escape attempt. But as I got into 2012, things eased up and Dee Dee let down her guard again. At the end of 2012, Dee Dee bought Gypsy a new computer and a cell phone, which of course Gypsy learned from her mistakes last time, and she immediately started sneaking back on Facebook and stuff. Because she has to know somewhere in her brain that she's not intellectually disabled like that. Like, she's getting older. She's an adult already.
But does she even know what that means intellectually?
That's what I was
Maybe
gonna
she
say.
thinks she is, and everyone else is 10
She
times
thinks
smarter
she's dumber than
her.
everyone else because that's what her mom conditioned her to believe.
Just between that mental abuse and the drugs and everything, like, they're got to be so fucked up.
Yeah.
You don't know what anything in reality is, right?
Yeah.
Your brain just doesn't even work right at that.
But I feel like this is that there's a little bit of, like, you can't completely break her will. The fact that she's trying to
Reach out.
right or grow up a little bit, or, you know what I mean? Like, something in her brain is still still there to want to expand.
Right, sure.
Gypsy was back to using the Emma Rose Facebook profile and chatting with Aaliyah. Gypsy was asking Aaliyah questions about guys and love. Gypsy had a very childlike idea of love, the whole prince marries a princess, Disney story type thing. These conversations led to Gypsy creating a profile on Christian singles. And through that dating website, she met 23-year-old Nicholas Godejohn.
That's where all the sluts are, Christian singles.
Is that where it's at? Tell us about your experiences.
Anal only. That's God's loophole. Still a virgin. Right?
That's how I understand it. Cherries are not popped. It's a butthole.
That's right.
In that case, holes is hole or holes is not holes. And it makes a very big difference what hole you put it in.
Very big difference.
I don't abide by that, but
In through the outdoor, still pure.
That's what our friend...
I know where this is going.
do you?
No.
Oh, yeah, I don't know either.
He sodomized a friend of ours, maybe.
No, my mind went blank. Not Casey Anthony. The one
Jody Arias.
Jody Arias. Thank
Oh,
you. Yeah.
the one when you
pooper.
want to wife up.
Yeah, her fiance, whatever he was that she killed, he subscribed to that thought process.
He was all about the back door.
Yeah, that didn't count in Mormon.
Yeah.
Wasn't he a real big douchebag too?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like he kind of had a little bit coming to him.
he didn't deserve to be killed, but
Yeah.
Not going to victim blame, but Unless we're on this show, because I'm going to victim blame the rest of this fucking episode.
But she was also the victim. Jody, right? Like, wasn't she
100%.
abused? I don't remember the story. Was she physically abused or just emotionally?
I think more emotional abuse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just remember that we kind of tore him up a little bit in that episode. What was his name? Like Chad or something?
I don't remember. Something like that.
I think it was Chad from Parma. He wore a tap-out shirt. He's known for kicking Declan's ass every now and then. So you got to respect him for that at least. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. It's a time of transition, a time of change. Summer is coming to an end and fall is here. With that comes new routines, changing weather, and yes, football season. Does the stress from any of this keep you up at night? Does your brain start talking the minute it touches your pillow? Do your thoughts start racing at inopportune times? Back to school routines can be difficult to manage. The cold weather can become a burden. Shorter, busier days can often cause us to question our choices and decision-making process. It turns out, one great way to make those racing thoughts go away is to talk through them. Therapy gives you a place to do that so you can get out of your negative cycle and find some mental and emotional peace. Therapy can be beneficial in helping us learn about ourselves, which in turn gives us the ability to calm our brain down and keep those racing thoughts in check. Therapy empowers you to be the best version of yourself, and with that extra confidence, nothing can hold you back. So, if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online and designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. All you have to do is fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists anytime at no additional charge. Get a break from your thoughts with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/necro today and get 10% off your first month. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/necro.
Nick Godejohn lived 8 hours away in Waukesha, Wisconsin. He had been diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, which was something that Nick and Gypsy bonded over. She was accepting of Nick's disabilities, and he was accepting of hers. One thing Gypsy didn't know was that Nick had been arrested for watching porn on a tablet and jerking off in a McDonald's for 9 hours.
Don't you mean giving a medal? 9 hours?
Fucking rookie.
I wonder what, like, there's multiple news reports where they're like, this man, 9 hours jerking off. Like, what's going on in the McDonald's between hours 7 and 8? Like, the people working in there, like, I don't know. Should we call on this guy yet? Or
yeah, like who was there on breakfast shift and they switched over? Like, no, he's still going. Yeah. I'm loving it.
He went through a menu change. A menu change.
And no one was like, is there a playland there? Makes all the difference, right? He's only a pervert.
I'm not going to answer that fucking question, pal. I don't like
He's
what
not
you're
a
trying to
pervert
say.
if there's no playland there. It doesn't. Come on, misdemeanor at best.
he's not a pervert.
We don't know what was on what he was jerking off to. What was on his phone.
Yeah.
Could have been pervert porn.
Nick also claimed to have multiple personality disorder. He talked a lot about his evil side and things like that. Gypsy and Nick really expanded on the claims of multiple personalities. He had like a good personality, evil personality, sexual ones, pretty much for all emotions. So, of course, Gypsy created her own personalities to match Nick's.
Naturally.
That's the pictures you jerked off to, Ian.
Which ones?
The ones of her sexual side.
Oh,
Gypsies.
He's like, which ones? I jerked off to a bunch of them.
I understand after you had that shame jerk, but, you know, I get it.
No, but for real, that one with her like holding the knife dressed up as like kind of
really
like Harley Quinn from Batman kind of thing.
Very uncomfortable.
But it shouldn't have been because she's a woman.
I know. I'm saying that's how I felt when I saw it, though. I was like,
know.
why are they showing this? And then I was like, oh, wait, this is fine.
Yeah. In 2014, Gypsy told Aaliyah that she and Nick had talked about getting married and had picked out names for future kids. She told Aaliyah how Nick was real into BDSM stuff. There were even some screenshots of them posting furry pictures on HBO. Very 4chan-esque stuff going on here between these two. Aaliyah warned Gypsy to stop talking to Nick, thinking that there's maybe a solid chance that this guy could be a sexual predator. But Gypsy and Nick were obsessed with each other, I think obsessed is an understatement for how much these two talked. One of the things I did researching this, I really, really wanted to find transcripts of these messages that they had between each other. Couldn't find any actual court documents, but I did find somehow I had access to like the slideshow from the court, and it was pictures of their cell phone text messages. It was from Nick's trial. Someone had the slideshow and put it on YouTube, and it's an hour and a half long of just text messages. So it just fades, and the next one after, like hundreds of thousands. I watched about half of it. Obsessed.
Yeah. What else does she have to do, though?
Right. They call each other dear, hun.
Oh,
It's the
darling.
first
That's another one.
intimate relationship she's ever had.
Gosh.
Gosh.
In the spring of 2015, Gypsy and Nick were desperate to see each other in person. Obviously, Dee Dee wouldn't let Gypsy hang out with a guy, and Gypsy couldn't say that she had been talking to a guy on the internet for 2 or so years and that she wanted to meet him. So Gypsy came up with a plan. She would ask her mom to take her to see the new Cinderella movie that was out in theaters at that time, and Nick would take a bus from his home in Wisconsin to Springfield, Missouri to go see the Cinderella movie as well. Gypsy liked to dress up, like the whole Comic-Con thing. So she would go dressed up as Cinderella with a blonde wig and everything, and Nick would wear a suit. Couldn't get a tux, but a suit would be good enough to be
Close
a prince.
enough.
Yeah. Then they would just bump into each other like, oh, hey, you're real into Cinderella, so am I. And then Gypsy would introduce him to Dee Dee, like, hey, look at this awesome guy.
Look at this prince I met. The Cinderella movie for kids wearing a suit who's 30. It's not weird at all.
Yeah.
Dave took everything I was about to say, so I'll jump on it now. This is the one time in the whole story where Dee Dee is actually right, and she does think he's a perv. No, I mean, you don't say sorry. Like, that's a good thought, but yeah, like a single grown adult man in costume going to a Disney Cinderella movie.
Something wrong here.
Yeah.
First time all story, Dee Dee did something well.
Yeah.
Something wrong here.
Thank you. Thanks, Dee Dee.
It's a terrible plan. It did not play out in real life. In real life, Dee Dee did think Nick was a creep. So
Well.
get the fuck away from my daughter.
Yeah, I get that part.
Yeah. You feel bad for her, though, because she doesn't understand social situations. So in her mind, this is like a great plan.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the worst plan.
No, I mean it makes sense in theory. Like, oh, we'll set up our own meet cute type situation, But it's a grown man in costume at a Disney by himself.
Yeah, he's like 27 at this point.
Yeah. Nah.
He was also jerking off in a McDonald's, too. So.
Oh, so that they didn't know that, but
That's not fair.
we're allowed to make fun of this guy because of that. If you dress up and go to Disney movies, I'm sure you're a fine, upstanding person, and you probably haven't, jerked off into a roast beef sandwich at Arby's. Put your own horsey sauce on that sandwich.
At one point in the movie, Gypsy and Nick snuck out to the bathroom and had sex, which that was something that they had already planned on doing.
So did she just like roll herself out? Like just
Like, she's in on the scam. She knows. She doesn't
that's
think
what
she
I'm
can't
asking.
walk,
Like,
I
is she
think.
in on the scam, or was she so abused that she thought she couldn't? But then if she's getting up and going to a bathroom, like in a wheelchair, that seems very difficult to do. Like, your mom's just not going to say, okay, yeah, go to the bathroom, wheel yourself in there.
I think the understanding is that if you fuck up this whole thing we have going on, I'll beat your ass when we get home. You can walk around when no one knows us, but you're going to sit in a fucking wheelchair to perpetuate this scam.
Is that what it is?
That's how I took
At
it.
this point, it
As she got
is.
older.
Yeah, she got older.
And Gypsy has said that, like, that it was my understanding that I had to just go along with this, or that's just...
That's what I inferred from
Yeah.
watching the documentary. I don't know that she explicitly said that, but that's what I got.
And Nick is fully aware that she can walk.
I know she
confided everything into him. So like all this stuff.
But like in my mind, she's still kayfabing it to her mom then. Like to me, that makes a big difference in the story. Are you kayfabing to your mom that like, oh, I know I can walk, but I'm still going to play it off because you think you've broken me down? Or is it, no, I'm in on this and we're going to get paid?
I think she knew most of the time that she could walk.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I got.
And that's what I meant earlier when I was talking about how like there's something in there that makes her want to expand on like growing up and stuff. Like you can't just tell her she can't walk forever.
Yeah.
Eventually she's going to figure it out.
Yeah, sure.
You would think so.
Yeah.
I mean, she's going to fall and then be like, wait a minute, I could just stand up.
And then she like kind of unwittingly becomes in on it with Dee Dee.
Yeah.
You know, which I don't think she would be if she was able to choose, she would just go be with Nick and none of this would happen. So it's the psychological abuse is still, you know, looming over.
Yeah. I was going to say how hot it was that they fucked in the wheelchair in the bathroom, but I guess that's not what happened.
It does not. I mean, we don't know, I guess.
I mean, it's still hot fucking in the bathroom, but wheelchair would have been next level.
Is it even hotter knowing that it's a Cinderella movie and there's all these kids in the bathroom, you know, like 2 feet away from you?
I don't know if hotter is the word.
Dave,
the kids are there.
That is your opinion. I didn't say anything like that, Mike.
Does it make it hotter?
No.
Does it even, I don't think any part of the bathroom thing is for me, but I'm not against people who do it. It's just, I don't know if I could do that one.
It's a little unsanitary.
It's pretty insane.
But still.
I mean, if you're drunk enough, go ahead. I can get down for that if I was drunk enough, not caring enough.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm just like, just go to a hotel room. There's a bed.
It's bad.
Yeah. Softer on the knees, the back. Not going to break any sinks.
Okay, Grandpa.
Yeah. Got to look out for that body.
After this meeting and losing her virginity, Gypsy was wanting even more independence.
Yeah, I'm sure she was.
So she just said, fuck it. And she just started openly texting Nick in front of Dee Dee.
Haha, texted Nick, bitch. What about that?
Like, what are you going to do about it?
She had a little taste of that dick, and she's like, nope. I'm grown now. Fuck you, Dee Dee.
This tension built and built until one night an argument blew up and Dee Dee threw Gypsy's laptop across the room, smashed her cell phone, and threw pill bottles and stuff at Gypsy. Dee Dee then grabbed a sedative and forcibly injected it into Gypsy's feeding tube. When Gypsy woke up, Dee Dee was sleeping. Gypsy got back on her laptop and started talking to Nick and telling him what happened. Nick said that he would do anything to protect Gypsy and he wouldn't let anything like that ever happen again. He also made it very clear that he would do anything for Gypsy. That's a running thing between these two.
Billy Badass over here, Nick.
The conversation shifted to the realization that it would never be possible to be together. Like Dee Dee would never allow it. That evolved into Dee Dee needs to be out of the picture if that's the only thing that would be stopping us. And together, Gypsy and Nick started planning to kill Dee Dee. And Gypsy admits that she is the one that said it first.
Yeah, she's being held hostage for 20 years and drugged.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I would be doing that too, maybe.
On June 14th, 2015, a post was made to a Facebook profile shared by Dee Dee and Gypsy that said, quote, "That bitch is dead." The first couple comments on the post were people asking if the account was hacked, and there was some debate on whether or not to call 911 or something along those lines. Then a comment came from Dee Dee's account that said, quote, "I fucking slashed that fat pig and raped her sweet innocent daughter. Her scream was so fucking loud. LOL." The addition of LOL just makes me laugh anytime.
There's a lot going on there. It's all in caps too.
Yeah.
It's okay if you put LOL. It's like putting with all due respect beforehand, right?
It's the nice way of saying like, whatever.
Kim Blanchard, no relation, just a friend, which that really threw me off for a while until I figured it out.
That's quite a coincidence. It's a Kim Blanchard or Kim Blanchard.
She called Dee Dee's phone, but no one answered. Kim and her husband David decided to drive over to Dee Dee's house to make sure that everything was okay. They knocked on the door, but no one answered. Dee Dee's cube SUV thing. You remember those? The
Oh my
cubes?
God, the most ridiculous.
I don't know
Who
really
made
what they were
those?
considered.
I remember
Kia,
those. They were
maybe?
fucking awful.
Or
I don't
no,
think
Nissan made them.
that sounds right. It wasn't Kia.
Kia made
Yeah.
the Soul, the hamster car.
Yes. And those boxes were terrible.
Atrocious.
I don't know if they're a van or an SUV or what.
Or
They're
like the Ford Flex. Like every company had their version.
Was the
of it.
Flex the hearse? Wasn't that the
It was
longer
long,
one?
a little longer box,
And it looked like a hearse,
yeah,
kind of,
yeah.
right? That
Those are terrible.
awful. Nothing. The only boxy cars I've ever really liked are the old Ford Broncos. And I really was excited when they were bringing the Broncos back. And I was like, I'm going to get one of those. And then the new Broncos are fucking disgusting, abysmal. Don't like them at all.
No, some of the versions are cool. Most of them,
They have
the
new
base
ones come
stuff
out.
does not look cool.
The original ones they came out with were atrocious,
Some
like a
of-
year or two ago.
Yeah, some of them look cool. I would re-examine that.
I'll check back, but yeah, I like those old.
Like here it is.
Yeah, look at that
What
shit.
the fuck
Those
is
are
that?
so fucking ugly. What is that, Dave?
That's
What-
a Cube.
That's exactly what Dee Dee had.
and it was Nissan?
Yeah, Nissan Cube.
Is Nissan even around anymore?
Yes.
Are they? I thought that was one of those ones that got like bought up.
No, they're still around.
Well, that ruined it because I was going to say, well, now I know why they're out of business because of the fucking Cube. But all right, Nissan, go get you some, I guess. If you're going to get paid for those fucking abominations.
I don't think they make the cubes anymore.
That
I
is
think
an
they
ugly
stopped.
fuck-
I think
car, man.
that was like a one and done, maybe two and done type
shit.
thing. Is that the ugliest car ever?
No.
Oh, it's top 5.
PT Cruisers are pretty
PT
shitty.
Cruisers.
Oh, I think that's uglier than a PT Cruiser, though.
It is.
I don't like PT
The Kia
Cruisers.
Soul's pretty bad too.
Which one's that? Did you say is that the hamster wheel you said?
Yeah. The hamster commercial car.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the shape of the car. I don't remember that one.
Yeah, they were like all dancing around and shit in the commercials.
Is that the Party Rock?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Like those
It's
are-
better than a cube because it sits lower, like it's not as boxier.
Yeah.
But that's not a good looking car,
No.
especially that lime green one you pulled up. What the fuck is that?
That's what came up. That's awful.
Reminds me of Mr. Bean's car in that old show. Did you guys ever watch Mr. Bean? Have we discussed that?
I don't think so.
As a
I don't even know who
kid-
Mr. Bean is.
As a kid, I loved it. Like all those old shorts they used to do.
Yeah.
Before like that movie came out, like the big movie came out, and I don't know. I still every now and then you can find them all on YouTube. I'll go back and watch some of those. It's good stuff. I feel
I
like
saw the
that
movie
old
back in the
British humor type thing. It's even the shorts are different than the movie though too.
Are they?
Yeah, it's different. I don't know, but anyways, good stuff.
I've seen those short clips. They're funny.
So Dee Dee's cube was still sitting in the driveway, which that was a bad sign. Dee Dee drove that vehicle to take Gypsy's wheelchairs out, meaning that they wouldn't go anywhere without the car. 911 was called, but when police got there, they said that there wasn't much that they could do. They would need a search warrant to go inside Dee Dee's house. David Blanchard said, well, what if I went in the house and checked? And police said that was fine. We just can't do it. I don't understand why watching someone break into a house is better than the police doing it to check on a situation. But
Well, I think like any evidence is inadmissible if they break in, but if no one's pressing charges against me, I can break in your house as your friend.
Yeah, that's how I saw it. Like, if I was coming in your house, like, oh, it's just Mike, he's a friend. Let him just go do a welfare check, and we'll just stand out here and we'll see if he finds anything, kind of thing.
Every other
And
time,
then it's legal. And it's legal. If they broke in, they can't use anything.
I think that's right. Every other time in the history of the United States, though, we detect the smell of odor of weed. Let's kick the door down and get SWAT here. Not this time, though.
my thing was like, yeah, you're not thinking that there's a dead body in the house, but this guy just fucking contaminated this whole crime scene and
They also-
wandered around the
It's
whole
not a
house.
crime
They
scene
didn't
yet,
know it
though,
was a
I
crime
guess.
scene, I think. But at the same time, I thought, and maybe that's not, but like if police are doing a legitimate welfare check, like it's people's property. Like I'm thinking like when pro wrestlers have died, they do welfare checks, and like police will show up and they'll just break into the hotel room and they just find the person dead.
I'm sure it depends where you're at.
Yeah, how is it different with like a house, like a welfare check? And I'm sure it is different. I know it's not the same thing.
This is taught, the Facebook post said, this bitch is dead and I slashed her and raped her daughter. Like, those are pretty aggressive things.
That's probable cause to investigate.
Not to tell the guy to climb through a window.
But it's even not the police. It's the police can't determine that, right? Like they need to be told, like, okay, you have like the official warrant to go into this home.
But
like
I don't know that you need a warrant in a situation like that. It's probable cause to enter the house.
But is it? I don't know. It doesn't seem like it was if they're saying no.
That's a gray area, I'm sure. Situation to situation. I don't fault the police for this.
Just my opinion. I'm not necessarily faulting them either. It's just my opinion.
I think it definitely is to their benefit when they have a friend there and they're like, oh, by the way, you can go in.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
We can, if you go in and find stuff, then we can come in if you tell us there's a dead body.
Because then for sure it's probable cause.
Yeah.
I get that.
And then they're like, oh, and if there's
me.
a dead body, it's a crime scene, I think. So we can come in. Yeah. Oh, we're going to need you to get out because now you're contaminating it.
So David climbed through an unlocked window into the house. There was no sign of a struggle. All the lights were turned off and it didn't look like anything was stolen. As David was walking around, he pointed out two things. One, that the air conditioner was turned up as high as it would go. And two, all three of Gypsy's wheelchairs were still inside. So that is a terrible sign. Because everybody's under the impression that she can't walk.
Yeah.
Nick's not.
No.
No, he's
Fine.
banging.
Yeah.
Wheelchair-free banging.
Police finally got a search warrant around 10:45 that night. And they went in the house and found Dee Dee's body in her bed with tons of blankets over her. That's why David didn't see her. Just looked like the bed was unmade. She had been stabbed 17 times, including a slashing wound to the back of her neck. And it was clear that she had been lying there dead for a couple days. So to everyone there, Gypsy could have been kidnapped. Who knows what happened to her? The wheelchairs are still left behind. Aaliyah went to the police with her Facebook chat logs with Gypsy's Emma Rose account and told them about Nick. Based on that information, police asked Facebook to trace the IP address to where the posts to Dee Dee's accounts had been made. It turned out to be in Wisconsin, and the next day, police in Waukesha County raided the Go-to-John's home. Both Nick and Gypsy were arrested for first-degree murder and taken back to Springfield, Missouri.
Did the police have a warrant for that request, Zuckerberg? Or just turn over the information because they asked? Son of a bitch.
Good question.
Fucking punk Zuckerberg. Also use a VPN. They won't be able to do that shit to you.
Not sure this Nick guy was doing any of that.
The police back in Springfield held a press conference when they were arrested to let like the public know that Gypsy was found because everybody was freaking out. Like, this is a big issue.
He's a local hero.
And yeah, he said things don't always appear to be what they seem or whatever.
Yeah. He was right.
Yeah.
More ways than one.
The interrogation tapes are interesting.
Yeah, they were. I saw lots of people being interviewed by police with no attorneys present.
Mm-hmm.
Every single person.
They're all adults, though.
So?
If they were. There was no attorneys. They did not ask for any. I'm not sure that the two main people were intelligent enough to even understand that.
No, I think there's an argument to be made there for sure.
Yeah. Just saying.
But yes.
Don't do it.
That's right.
Don't be in that interrogation room without your attorney. Never, 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 ever. Don't do it. Not even once. Sorry. Continue, please.
You ever been in an interrogation room before?
Absolutely not.
No.
Will I ever be in one alone by myself? Absolutely not.
Well, of course you won't. The investigator will be there with you, at the very least. Probably like pistol whipping you when the cameras are shut off.
Probably.
Making sure you couldn't ask for an attorney to be present and then turning the cameras on.
I think it's telling that Gypsy lies right off the bat and said that she doesn't even know that her mom's dead.
Yeah.
I think that makes it clear that she knew exactly what she was doing in this whole thing.
I think that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Nick just straight up admits all of it.
He didn't hold
quick.
back anything.
No, he goes all in on it, talking about contemplating raping Dee Dee before he killed her. Like, he gives no fucks.
Yeah.
So we'll get into how this all went down. On June 9th, 2015, Dee Dee took Gypsy to one of her routine doctor appointments while Nick got on a Greyhound bus from Big Bend, Wisconsin to make the 8-hour trip to Springfield. It was evening time when Nick arrived to check into his motel, and once he got settled, Nick sat and waited for a text from Gypsy. Once Dee Dee was asleep, Gypsy texted Nick and told him that it was time to come over. A little while later, Nick texted Gypsy back and said that he was at the front door. Gypsy handed him gloves, duct tape, and a 6-inch serrated hunting knife. Gypsy then led Nick down the hallway to Dee Dee's room. Right off the side of the hallway was a bathroom. Gypsy slid into the bathroom, locked the door, and covered her ears. Nick went into Dee Dee's room and straddled her from behind while she was sleeping and stabbed her 17 times until she stopped fighting back. Nick knocked on the bathroom door and told Gypsy that it was over and that they needed to clean up, which Nick made Gypsy clean up the scene naked because it turned him on.
Man.
Does that do it for you, Dave, like the bathroom sex scene does?
No.
Okay.
No. That's something different there.
Something wrong here.
This Nick guy is something else.
After the blood was cleaned up as best as it could be, Nick says that they had consensual sex in Gypsy's room. Gypsy describes it as pretty clear rape, and the photograph bite marks left on her from Nick seemed to corroborate her version of events. This was not consensual sex that happened.
No.
Finally, they grabbed around $5,000 in cash from Dee Dee's safe and went back to Nick's motel room to go into the next step of their plan.
There was some video of that, right? Just dicking around in the hotel room.
Mm-hmm.
Dicking around?
No, not like that. It's just happy-go-lucky.
The next day, on June 10th, the two bought bus tickets to go back to Big Bend, Wisconsin. Gypsy was afraid to travel with the murder weapon, and what they had around that time was like $4,500 in cash. So they packaged the items in a padded envelope and mailed them using USPS to Nick's house.
It's not a bad idea. I like it. Solid plan.
Yeah, that's kind of smart.
Yeah. It's not bad at all.
And that's Gypsy's. That was her plan. She didn't want to have all that money on them.
No, smart.
Once they arrived in Big Bend, Nick's mother and stepfather picked up Nick and Gypsy at the bus station. They thought the wig that Gypsy was wearing was kind of weird, but Nick never had a girlfriend before, so they were being open to the situation. From there, Nick and Gypsy started making plans to move into an apartment. Nick was going to get a job, and Gypsy was going to go to a doctor and figure out what was really wrong with her.
It's a good plan.
They wanted to start a new life. I get that. For Gypsy, this is freedom, finally.
Finally.
For Nick, this was, I don't know. He had a girlfriend.
Yeah,
He didn't know what to do. It's better than jerking off in a McDonald's, right?
Yeah.
It's a real life girl. I'm a real boy.
I just had sex and it felt so good.
He came out of the Cinderella movie just blasting that. Dee Dee's like, what?
I know what they thought, like the ends would just tie themselves up back in Missouri and no one would ever find her, I guess.
I don't think they really even thought of that.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like that even crossed their mind. Like, oh, she's dead. We're miles and miles, hundreds of miles away.
Yeah.
Surely
Out
they'll
of sight, out
never
of
link
mind.
us. Yeah. That's how I took it. I don't know.
I know there was talk. I can't remember where exactly I read it or heard it, but the Gypsy said that once they had gotten out of Missouri, she felt like at that time she felt like they got away with it.
Yeah,
Like it was
I bet,
a
yeah.
done deal.
I bet.
Yeah. The following day, the package with the money and the murder weapon showed up at Nick's house. Nick's mother saw that it was addressed to Nick, so she didn't open the package and set it aside. And when that between being all those miles away and then when the murder weapon showed up without an issue, they were like, we're in the clear. We got away with this.
Home free.
But Gypsy did feel some regret, and she said that it would come in waves. She also didn't want her mom's body to just sit there and decay. So on June 14th, Gypsy made the Facebook post about the bitch is dead, and the other one about, the super aggressive one with LOL at the end to hopefully alert someone to check out the house. Gypsy said that she typed and Nick told her what to type, which that seems like it could be true.
Yeah, I'll buy that. They should have burned the house down. They should have grave robbed someone the same size as Gypsy, pulled her body into the house, then burned the house down.
Dave's doing his own version of OJ's If I Did It.
So they were both charged with first-degree murder. The prosecution said that they weren't going to go for the death penalty, especially with Gypsy. That would be very hard to do. Yeah. But there was a lot to unpack. She was charged with first-degree murder right off the bat, but as they started investigating this and going through the level of abuse that she had been subjected to her whole life, the charges were dropped to second-degree murder, and Gypsy accepted that and pled guilty to second-degree murder. And she was sentenced to 10 years in prison on July 5th, 2016. I have thoughts about that sentence. I think there could have been a workaround, like I don't know, figure out something. The justice system figures out all kind of shit.
Like as in prison time?
No prison time. Figure out a way for her to plead guilty to something and time served something.
I think it was a 20-year drugging and kidnapping victim who was breaking free from her captor. I don't see how this girl was put in prison.
The justice system has all kind of flaws. I'm sure somebody could have figured out a way to be like, okay, we can give her time served.
Yeah. And she served a lot of time.
So she premeditated a murder, but I still feel like I don't know enough about what she knew and didn't know to give like my actual thoughts on it. Like, was she playing the game with her mom, or was she broken and beat down to a point where she didn't know reality and what was up with her?
I think like some of both. I think it was all under duress. I think it was all under the threat of drugging and violence, right? That's how I see it.
Because then part of me goes to, okay, if you know you're able to walk, if you are able to get to a bathroom and have sex and to plan a murder, are you not able just to plan getting out of the house? Maybe she could, maybe she couldn't.
I don't know, but I think you probably think whatever you do, whoever you tell, no one's going to believe you, and your mom is going to have some way to get you back there, because that's what's always happened in the past.
And they're
go ahead.
Not separated ever. Dee Dee is by her side 24 hours a day for her whole life.
Well, except for when she's banging in the bathroom.
Well, yeah, she got away once.
Yeah. I am not as much against what she got as you guys are.
I think she needed to plead guilty to something. I'm fine with that.
She certainly premeditated a murder, and I'm never okay with just murdering someone or planning that out. But she was the victim of abuse for a long, long time.
Yeah, like if you spend 20 years fucking up a kid's mind and body like that, what do you expect? What do you expect?
You lie to the point where she has a feeding tube inserted and you feed her Pedialyte or Pediasure and stuff for years.
Yeah.
I wonder if they ever did testing before the trial. Like, was she competent enough? Did she even understand? To me, it seems like she understood, which then justifies the sentence.
Understood what, I guess?
Like the competency. Did you understand that you were planning to murder your mom? And if so, okay, but because of the abuse, it's not first degree. We'll do second degree. You serve 10 years. To me, that is very fitting in that sense.
I think that's exactly how they were looking at it.
And I think that I think that makes sense.
Like, what is the difference between her situation and, say, the girls that Ariel Castro was holding hostage? Like if Amanda Berry somehow contacted someone from the outside, told her that she was being held hostage by Castro, and they did the same thing, and this Nick came in and killed Castro and rescued her, like he would get a medal, right? And she would be praised as the victim for escaping. Like what's the
She was physically being held captive, though. And what my question goes back to is I still just don't I'm not sure I understand to what level she was being held there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not exactly the same, but practically, I think it is. I think emotionally and under threat of duress and beating and drugging, I think she was holding her hostage for.
But it also.
And she was an adult female being held hostage.
Made to believe that she was not an adult female.
Like, yeah,
Well,
they
I think
killed
that's
this
the other
lady,
thing, though.
but she was holding her hostage.
I think she was made. See, I don't know. She was made to believe she was being held hostage. I don't think I would say she was being held hostage because I don't know that she was. Again, did her mom let her go away from her in a movie theater to then in a public area to then go have sex? Wheel yourself out of there, go to the police station and say, I'm being abused. My mom's beat me with a coat hanger.
But they've done it before. The police came and she talked her way out of it. So psychologically,
But with
I think
your
it's the
mom
same
was
thing.
there.
I think it's the same.
It's the same thing as what?
But as being physically held hostage. I don't think there's much of a difference.
Given what I understand for this case, I think it was a very appropriate sentence. I certainly don't think she should have gotten any more.
no.
No.
But she also knew what she did was wrong because she lied about it. And she premeditated a murder with a, I don't know.
I don't think this is a murder at all.
Well, he murdered her.
It's not a murder charge, though. It's not murder.
Not for her.
I don't think it's murder for anyone. I think he...
Did he not get murder? What did he get?
Oh no, he got murdered.
We'll get to that in a second. We started this conversation before the end of the show, but...
We're right, but I'm just saying. No, I'm saying my thought. I mean, he clearly murdered her.
I don't agree with that.
So
He killed her. I don't think this is a murder thing.
Okay.
Nick Godejohn's trial started in November of 2018. The prosecutor's argument was that Nick debated on committing this murder for over a year. There were multiple opportunities along the way to back out or reach out to some form of outside help for Gypsy. They showed the jury hundreds and hundreds of texts between Gypsy and Nick, as well as video admissions Nick made to killing Dee Dee on the interrogation tapes, in the fact that he debated on whether or not he was going to rape Dee Dee before killing her. Gypsy testified at Nick's trial, and she admitted that she suggested to Nick that he killed Dee Dee to stop the abuse. Gypsy also threw out the idea of getting pregnant by Nick so that Dee Dee would have to accept him. Gypsy stole some baby clothes from Walmart during a shopping trip so that she could go ahead with that plan, but she said that Nick ignored her, never went through with anything. There was never any further conversation on that. After 4 days of deliberation, Nick was found guilty of first-degree murder, and in February of 2019, he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. I'm fine with him getting life in prison, but without the possibility of parole is too far. He should be able to be paroled one day. I think that's fair. Like the rape.
Yeah, whatever came of that, I was going to ask. She claimed she was raped by him.
Mm-hmm.
But then nothing came of that. Like he wasn't charged with rape.
No.
Was that after the fact that she started saying that? Or was that still during the questioning when she claimed that he raped her?
That was pretty quick because they took pictures of like the bite marks on her and stuff.
I'm just not convinced it's first degree murder.
He had all this time to back out of this. Though the prosecution's argument was that there's two levels to the disorder, the autistic disorder that he was diagnosed with. There's a level 1 and level 2. From what I read, there's some, or at least to the prosecution, the defense for this, that there's a major difference between the two. A level 1, you can take care of yourself throughout most of life. A level 2, you're going to need help. Yeah. So there was a debate on where he fit into that.
Was that his only diagnosis that we know of?
Yeah. And his IQ, the cutoff is 85 for an intellectual disability, at least from what I was reading. I could be wrong on that. But his was an 82. So he's like right there on the border. I don't know. He talked about this for a year and he drove 8 hours to do it. I'm fine with him getting in trouble. I don't have an issue with that.
I'm not sure he shouldn't be locked up, and he's clearly might be dangerous, but I'm not sure I don't view this as someone who, in his eyes, is rescuing this girl from someone who's holding her hostage.
I understand that too.
I think that's a big part of this. I don't think he was just like, oh, I'm ready to kill somebody.
I don't think so either.
I go back to, I feel like I have no idea where Gypsy was in all of this, in knowing what she did have and what she was capable of. I just feel like we won't. And to me, that just throws this all up into the air.
True, but I think you can make some assumptions based on what you've heard as far as 20 years of abuse. And
You can make some, but then I
clearly your mind wasn't right. I mean,
she's still, if you can plan a killing of your mom, you can plan him to just come pick you up and take you to Wisconsin.
But maybe it's the psychological thing of she will never, ever let me be alone. She's by my side for 24 hours a day for my whole life. She squeezes my hand if I say anything wrong. Yeah, but
he's coming into your house when she's asleep. Like, you're planning all of this behind her back when she's asleep. Instead of him just putting you in a bathroom and then killing her, he could just put you in his car or taxi, take you back to the bus station, and you're 500 miles away before she wakes up.
And she'll find me and bring me back. I think
she did it once.
Threat, because it's happened before. Even the police came and that did nothing.
But that doesn't justify then murdering someone when you can just easily get away.
It does to me.
You can go to your dad. You can get away.
I don't think this girl should have ever been put in prison.
I think 10 years was appropriate.
I think that she should not have been put in prison.
No, not at all. Absolutely not.
I would have been fine.
In most stories, you guys would have killed her with the death penalty. But this one, you're going to change your mind? Okay.
I think she's the complete victim here. I think this lady was a fucking piece of garbage. And
well, then let the court system figure that out. Not don't take justice in your own hands, because that's never okay.
But that didn't work, though.
But it wasn't ever tried. But she never tried.
But
she never spoke out.
You're not putting yourself in the psyche of this girl who's been under the thumb of this mom and under drugs and unnecessary surgeries and everything else for 20 years.
But then you're using that to justify murder.
I am.
Yeah.
I don't think it's murder. I think it's her escaping
fucked with this country,
her
though.
captor.
I mean, sometimes I think murder is 100% justified.
Well,
depending on the situation.
I don't think this is murder. I think it was escaping a captor. I don't think that's the legal definition of murder.
I think she had she went to the bathroom and got fucked in the middle of a movie. You can clearly get away from this woman.
I think you're missing the point.
Then explain to me the point, because you're not doing a good job of it.
Her psyche's damaged, and I think she was, like Ian said, that this lady would always get her back and would never let her go.
But that was not tried. She didn't try to do that. She didn't try to go away.
She knows how to try.
So for a year, she just planned to kill. There's a little bit of.
It's not a master plan. It's very fantasy based. What they talked about wasn't real. You could make an argument that, I don't know, like if this never happened, if she was never killed. I don't know if I'm going to say this right. If she was never killed and you read those texts and tried to charge them with something like planning a murder, I think there'd be a solid argument to be like, they were never going to do this. Look at the rest of the text and the context. This is very childlike and very, this isn't a put together plan.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough to say without knowing.
I mean, just based on what we can prove, I think that the victim in this whole thing is Gypsy.
Oh, absolutely.
Dee Dee is not a victim in my eyes. I feel zero sympathy for Dee Dee.
Her family felt no sympathy for her. They interviewed her family and they said, did she get what she deserved? And they said, absolutely.
You destroyed a child's life. You
She destroyed her life.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with any of that.
She lied to get her salivary glands removed. Like what? I don't even know how that's possible. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah, I don't know. Every once in a while, there's a fuck around and find out. You push somebody too far.
Like if that had gone on, what would have happened to her? Like would she have had her legs amputated so she could never leave?
Presumably, she'd still be living the same life, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we're just going to always disagree. I still don't think anything you guys have said has justified killing another person, but
That's fine. We can disagree.
I still go back to, with this one, I just feel like I don't know enough with Gypsy and how much she knew. And I understand she was broken down. Obviously she was. She is the real victim here. I don't know. I'm okay with what played out for the two of them.
So Gypsy got paroled on September 28th, 2023, and she's set to be released in a couple weeks here on December 28th to her father and stepmother.
Hey, that's in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, how about that?
She thrived in jail.
Good for her.
I was reading that, a lot of times, or almost all times, people lose weight in jail because the food sucks and you're not eating. She actually put on 14 pounds because she wasn't being fed Pediasure.
Yeah, sure.
She was eating like
She was
a
eating
normal
actual
person.
meals.
Good for her.
And that's the thing too. She wasn't eating normal food even up until a lot of this stuff,
I don't think you can even hold someone legally responsible. Like you said, she didn't eat. She wasn't eating anything. She was on how many fucking drugs? I don't even think you can say her mind was functioning properly to the point where she'd even be responsible for any of this. You can't abuse someone like that and then hold them responsible when they do something like this.
That's why I
fucking
would have
outrageous.
liked to know what testing went on before the trial. Where was her mind at?
She never had a trial. She just pled guilty.
But I mean, did her attorneys ask for anything? Did they ask for any testing to be done to look at toxicology reports to see what anything could have
I think
been?
she was facing life in prison, which they didn't want her to have. And so it was when the state offered this plea deal. They're like, yeah, we're going to take this.
Well, then we
She had
can't
a public
complain then
defender
if her
there.
attorneys didn't do anything.
Well, she had a
either.
public defender there. What resources do they have? She even got married in prison. She's married right now.
Yeah.
A little weird, but okay.
I always find that odd, but Damien Eccles got married in prison. They're
He
still
did.
together
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
she has a book that comes out in January of 2024 on January 9th. So see how that, I'm going to pick it up.
Yeah, I'll read
it.
that.
I'm interested.
I'm rooting for her.
There was a show on Hulu from 2019 called The Act. I did not watch it for this.
Me neither.
There's a big fallout with that. Pretty shitty. A reporter for BuzzFeed in 2016 worked really close with Gypsy's dad and her stepmother and wrote a really, really in-depth article about this case with their help and was able to look at documents and stuff. And then when things have gotten popular with this case, she just fucking ghosted the family and went and gave all this information to Hulu and made this show without anybody's consent. They're debating on whether or not to sue Hulu for all this stuff. So super fucking shady.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
Whatever. BuzzFeed. Jerks.
So I'm glad she's getting out. I think she's the victim. I think
Yeah,
what
let her
you
start
said
her
makes a
life.
lot of sense, that she's not thinking like an average person.
No, there was no chance for her to ever think like a rational, normal person.
But then your attorney's got to approve that, though. We can't just speculate and say, oh, well, because we think this, and it's the feel-good story.
That's not how things work, though.
But in the
real world.
courtroom, that's how it works.
A public defender, and you have the weight of the state trying to
They
put you
can't-
in jail for the rest of your life.
But
So of course
they can't
you plead
ask
out.
for assessments. They can't ask for tests. Of course they can. They all can.
Well,
And I just don't, I'm not saying they didn't. I don't know. There's a lot. I feel like this is a story where I don't know a lot of it. We don't know a lot of it. There's not a lot of information.
Yeah.
Part of me feels like maybe she was more in on it than we know. And she was playing along with the game for so many years. I'm not saying that's the way it is, but we don't know. We're just basing it off what we see in interviews now.
I don't think that's true.
But she would be, if she was, after a while, she was abused into the game. Like, no matter whether she knew it or not, she was abused into the situation.
She never had a chance.
Right. She was this way from the moment she was born, pretty much. At 3 months old, when the sleep apnea thing started, that was the end of her life, basically.
Right. And to throw her in prison for a decade, it's just a travesty.
She should have had to plead guilty to something and then went to some type of a mental health facility.
And gotten some treatment.
Right.
Sure.
To not, to get over all that abuse.
I think that would have been more beneficial, especially for a rehabilitation that we're supposed to be doing, as opposed to just being locked up. Sure.
But from what I read, it sounded she did very well in prison. She made friends with people, and
Because for the first time in her life, she was free of this psychopath. So good for her.
yeah. Hopefully her book does well. Hopefully she.
Yeah. I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
People want to follow this story. I'll buy it.
I don't think you'll ever know the extent to all this. And of course, because Dee Dee can't talk.
Yeah.
Dee Dee can't be held accountable for what she
That's
did.
what I really wish would have happened, is that she would have been brought to justice and we could have seen what she had to say in court and face her child and explain her actions. That would have been the best thing, just to see what that lady would have had to say about all this, to have her day of reckoning.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like I wasn't sitting there hoping wouldn't hope that somebody would get murdered. But when it happens to somebody like that, then I'm like,
Yeah. Reap what you sow, motherfucker.
yeah.
So Nick's for sure not getting out. That was the no parole.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure I'm okay with that either.
I think I agree with you on that. That's a little much, a little tough.
He should have the possibility of parole.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
It also seemed like there was just more going on with him than just the autism too. I don't know. I don't know if he was just mentally stable enough or mentally all there from the way he was just kind of bragging and talking nonchalantly about what he did.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think he understood, the consequences.
But
Yeah,
It was like
I
that
don't-
Brandon Dassey interview.
I'm not sure he understood
Right?
a lot of it.
Yeah.
I
wasn't
didn't
really-
understand the interview
It's
process.
like the weightiness, I guess, of his situation when the police were talking to him.
Is that the kid from Making a Murderer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure he understood the situation he was in.
It certainly seemed that way. I have not seen the Making Murderer thing, but it certainly seemed that way when he was giving that interview. He was all too quick with information and given, like, oh no, I didn't do this, but yeah, I did this. And
Yeah, maybe to a degree. I don't know. There wasn't anything that showed that he thought he wasn't going to get in trouble. You know what I mean? Like that Brandon Dassey, when he was in there, like he thought he was just going to say what he had to say and then walk out the door.
Yeah, because he didn't do anything, though. So he didn't understand. This guy knows he did it, but I
Right.
don't know that he knew how serious what he did was.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think I agree with that part.
In my mind, Gypsy is a complete victim. She's a victim of Nick's, but she did manipulate him. That's the truth. She did. And she probably learned that behavior from Dee Dee
That's probably fair.
because she becomes an unwilling participant in all of this because she did know she could walk at some point.
Yeah.
So in your mind, then, if she kind of manipulated Nick into doing this, you still see that as more, she's let her off the hook. She doesn't need to do any time. Just get her help.
Yeah, I think when you compound all of it, and you compound the unnecessary surgeries, just like the amount of abuse. Yeah, what's prison gonna do for her? Yeah,
And like you said before,
the justice is
maybe
her being away from Dee Dee.
Maybe-
like that's the justice in the story.
Yeah.
prison isn't even maybe appropriate, but like you said, like in a facility for a while,
Like
sentenced to a facility where she can be rehabbed.
She planned a murder.
Right.
Like there's no way to get around that fact because there is something to the argument legally that if you can plan the murder, then you can do other things too. Legally, there's that argument.
Yeah.
I don't agree.
Legally, there's lots of mitigating factors that led up to it, though.
Yeah.
Again, I don't see it all that much different than someone who's being held captive by anyone else trying to escape. A little different, possibly, but practically, I think it's the same thing.
Hopefully it sparks some good conversation amongst the listeners and people who are tuning in for the first time because they search Gypsy Rose. They hear me fucking talking about my sore tongue and what else do we say? Whatever Dave's got going on at the beginning of the
Put
episode.
a mask on, herpes boy.
Right. Hopefully they can stick around past that and get to this part of the conversation and hear us out. But yeah, in a couple weeks, she's going to be free. That's great. I hope she gets the life that she was robbed of. For most of it.
Absolutely. She'll be 32 years old, I believe.
Still young. You got a good life ahead of you.
Yeah. It
Can
seems
make
like
the
she
most
has
of it.
good support with her dad and stuff.
Dad seems like a really good dude.
Rod was awesome. Like we said at the beginning, Rod's a cool guy. I think.
I'm pulling for her, for sure.
Who did she marry? She married someone she met in prison. We touched on that before.
Some sort of pen pal situation, I believe.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
A guy. Yeah.
All right. Good for her. I hope that works out.
Yeah. Anytime you hear that, it's like, oh, that's weird. But it worked for Damian Eccles.
Worked for Richard Richard Ramirez was married in prison too, right?
After he got his fake teeth. Didn't he have nasty teeth?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But then all the ladies loved him after he
Yeah,
got
state
the
of California got him a new grill, man.
Look at that. Okay. What do we got on Patreon?
Thank you to new patrons Omar Palacios, Stephen Barrett, Lauren Rowe, Dr. Jaminist, Yee, Travis Ledreau, Kylie, Amanda Adams, Sherry, Zach, Hog Wild Pulling Truck, Cody Creeling, Nick DeShepper, Kayla S., Amanda Brown, Courtney Ross, Tia, Cassie Hill, Sephra, Princess Kaumu Kamano Kalanapo Hannah Carroll.
Welcome.
All right. I think I got that right. Jennifer Ramos, Zeke Ron by Tech Ron, Friendly Local Cryptid, Wendy Fugati, Ian Rowland, Church, Jenna Cameron, Lindsay Daniel, Simon Vesford, Dave's favorite hip hop onion, Megan the Scallion. It's pretty good.
Is that true?
Of course. Chris Moore, Ben Turner, Me gustan las madres solteras nalganas. I don't really speak Spanish, so hopefully that was close.
Welcome aboard. Hola.
Cy Love, Classic Car Cat, Joshua, Nashman, Mike Oxard,
Get it.
Molly DePietro, Jessica Stamp, Daniel Scarcella, Alexis Mall, and Mick Cully. Thank you, new patrons. Welcome aboard. It's a lot of fun here.
Ian, what do you got?
For iTunes, I have one for Blah Blah, Indie Zebra, Riley Cooper Fan 14, Kay Lappy, Nick 69, Anita Cuckingham, and Jen Graham 43. Thank you guys for the awesome reviews.
Anything else on your end, Dave?
No, sir.
Will be that. All right. We are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube at Necronomipod, patreon.com/Necronomipod for all of our bonus content, amazon.com, search Necronomipod for our merch, and necronomipod.com is our website and where you can find our stickers.
All right, you guys ready for a cool down beer?
Cheers.